Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Today's the day.
Today's the day, dude. It's crazy. I haven't even bought anything for the party yet.
Your costume's like
It's pretty easy.
easy.
I mean, Cruella is not hard
No,
to do.
you have your coat. You just wear like, well, 'cause she wears, it's like a black dress underneath the coat. So instead
Yeah, I
you
just
wear
need to go
like
get a black dress.
no. Just get like a I don't know, like a
Just black shirt and black pants.
black button-up shirt and like black pants.
Well, I don't have a black button up. I'm just gonna wear a regular black shirt.
That's fine. I don't think anyone's gonna care. And then nice shoes, and then red gloves, which is gonna look weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I have.
You could just
red
paint your
gloves.
nails red,
Oh, I could.
and then go to Target and get a Dalmatian stuffed animal.
Dude, I was gonna get one off of Amazon, but the quickest delivery date was like November.
Do you have Prime?
Yeah, even with Prime,
That's
it was still November.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna go get like the hairspray paint, the white one,
Yeah.
and they're still gonna have it in stock because who uses white hairspray
Well,
paint?
they're also gonna have a lot because of Halloween.
Yes, of course,
Of course.
of course, of course. What was your outfit again?
It's all sitting right next to me on this little stool.
Oh, you're gonna show me?
I'm gonna grab one thing and see if you can guess.
I forget. Oh, you're
I
gonna
don't
be a
know.
nerd.
No, I am already that.
Nice. You're gonna be, Peter Parker.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
No, I genuinely forget what you're gonna be.
That was it.
No way.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it gives me excuse to bring a camera and take pictures.
Oh, interesting.
And then I have a backpack, and then I have like the spider, like, you know, like how they have like the fake superhero shirts where it's like you wear the shirt, but it's like the Captain America outfit or the Superman outfit.
Yeah.
I have one of those. I have a Spider-Man one of those, and I'm just gonna hang it out of the backpack.
Oh my gosh.
So
You're so lame, bro.
okay, says the one who still
No.
hasn't bought his shit yet.
No, I'm kidding. It's not that lame.
No,
It's actually a good idea.
it's just
It's actually creative.
it's just a whole bunch of clothes too. It's
I
I bought a $100 like jacket that's like spot on, but I'm leaving the
Really?
tags on it. I'm just gonna return it tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Don't waste that money.
Dude, that's funny. I was just farting about. I was like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Well,
I
there's
didn't
like
even
it's like
think.
what are you gonna say, Peter Parker or Clark Kent?
Yeah,
like
and I
two
was like, no,
options.
he's not Superman.
No, that's an even more boring outfit. You just wear like a suit and like a reporter's or like a press badge.
Yeah.
And I'm not jacked enough. I can pull
No.
off Peter because I'm lean.
Lean, mean, and
Sex
lean.
machine. No.
Just super lean.
Yeah. Are you also having Mike and eggs for breakfast?
No, actually, I'm having green tea
There you go.
for whatever reason, bro. I don't know if you hear this. This isn't just like morning voice. I don't think. This is like, I need to drink some tea, bro. This is my
Have
throat.
you done that much talking in a while?
No.
That late? That also could just be why.
Yeah, maybe it's just like my voice needs to still warm up.
I've had
but
that before, like long days of just talking. At the end of the day, it's like, am I getting sick? Oh no, my voice is just tired.
I don't know. My throat has been scratchy, but I don't know.
Well, Get sick after tonight.
Right. I'll get sick after tonight. I don't think I'm sick, but I don't know.
Frozen boy. Oh,
Did you say frozen boy?
Gone.
Oh, because I'm frozen. I was like, frozen boy.
Oh, now he's back. There we go.
Oh, I am back. Okay, cool. I was about to turn my camera on and
He's
off.
back. No, it's like it freezes and then it does like the catch up, so it's like, and then it comes back to normal.
Bro. All right. Okay. I put a couple things in the chat. I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
Okay, so I was working one night. I don't even know what day this was. This was the 19th? Yeah.
1987.
No, this was the 19th. So this was like a week and a half ago, almost.
19th. You're going all the way up to the 19th?
Yeah, because I have notes.
October 19th?
I have notes from there.
Dude, that's a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna go through it real quick.
Okay, good. Because we already have a lot to go through.
It's just like a little bit here and there,
All right,
you know,
go.
just like little.
Quickfire. Mark's Quickfire tidbits.
Yeah, this is basically like the last week and a half of my life, just like fun little tidbits. I was driving, delivering food, and I was like, it makes me a happy little pumpkin spice, gabagool. Like, it's like, I don't know why I was saying this, but I kept repeating this in the car. I was like, it makes me a happy little pumpkin spice. And then I was doing the gabagool fingers. And then, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
It makes me a happy, I guess I was just in a good mood, dude.
You must have been.
Yeah. And then I've written down here ADD. So my mind is kind of like already all over the place, and I have trouble focusing on things. And I'm like, is there something like wrong with me? Should I go get diagnosed? Do I have ADHD or something like that? And
Did you like self-diagnosed?
No, I haven't. That's not.
Is that what you
not
told
smart
Harper
to do?
On that one episode that you did of hers?
Maybe. I mean,
so.
I might have said that I might have it, but like that was kind of more of a joke.
Yeah.
But this time around, I'm like, this might be an actual concern because there's a lot of things that I kind of like match up with, like on the symptom side of things. So I'm just like, okay, let me not self-diagnose first, and then let me just go to a professional eventually, because I'm putting it off.
So that is also just a reminder to yourself and not necessarily a topic to chat about?
No, it was a topic to chat about because I was like freaking out about it. I was like, do I have ADD or like ADHD or whatever? Yeah, I don't know. It's just something. I have trouble focusing like all the time. I have trouble being on time. That's like one of my big things is like I'm literally almost always late to things.
Yeah.
And I just lose track of time, dude. Anyways, enough of that crap. That's boring. I saw this. Okay, let me pull up this picture real quick. Let me see. I took a picture of this guy's car one night because I don't even know how to show you, bro. Like, I'll send it to you.
Just text it to me.
Yeah. This guy's spoiler was going off the chain, bro. So I wrote down man's spoiler going ham, and
that's like a self-made spoiler.
Whatever it is, dude, it was going ham. But wait, there's more.
The front of the car is like smashed.
It's smashed.
Like, look at the picture that you just sent me. The first one.
Yeah.
Freaking front fender's missing.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's not really smashed.
Well, it's like
kind
broken.
of just not there.
It's part of it's broken off. Oh, another.
Yeah, but
where were you? What city was this?
No, I was literally in Irvine. It was next to Target. It was like right by Target in a Wingstop.
All the high schoolers must have gotten out early.
I don't know, dude. But these guys, I don't know what they're doing, but their spoilers were literally humongous. Like, it was big. I mean, Hunter will put the pictures up.
Yeah.
but it's kind of ridiculous. I wonder what kind of like lift or drag they're getting with that. Not lift. I think they use it for drag, right? Keep the car down when they're going fast.
Yeah, spoilers are meant to just push the back tires. Keep the back tires on the ground for grip.
Yeah. So that, and then I don't know where they're doing their speed racing. You know,
They're like little high schoolers with their thinking putting spoilers on their little Miatas is cool, even though it looks stupid and it probably isn't doing anything when they're going 20 miles an hour
dumb.
to their
It
classes.
looks really dumb.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, and then also my buddy got married on Friday. Not this Friday, but last Friday. And, dude, the wedding was sick. It was a quick ceremony. Like, it literally lasted like 20 minutes, the entire ceremony. And then we had the best food, dude. We had quesadillas, which is like these tacos. Yeah, I know, right? We had these tacos that it's like dipped in this jus
Cheese.
or something. And then it has cheese in it, and it has meat that's like I think it's like a beef.
Is it
but
like
it's just,
cheese? Is it like melted cheese? Like
oh,
is
it's so
cheese
melty,
melted,
bro.
like all gooey
It's
and
so
delicious?
melty, yes. And it's like it looks like it's dipped in some sort of an oil or like some sort of a jus or something, and it's just so good. It's so flavorful. Like even me not being able to really taste flavors, I know this is some good stuff.
You should add that
Like,
to your list of something to get checked out.
You're totally right. And
Because
like
it's been how long?
it's been almost a year.
Yeah, you should probably check on that.
Like okay, some days it's like it's starting to get better, and I'm like, oh, I have hope. Like there are
Oh, I
times where
have
I'm like,
hope.
I can actually smell things again, and I'm like, oh, it's coming back. And then other times I'm just like, I can't smell anything still.
Maybe you just
And
have really heavy allergies now, and it's causing your sinuses to close up and you can't smell.
You know what? I don't believe that to be so. The entire year, I just can't smell anything.
Hey, you never know.
What else do I have on my list?
You got.
I'm
his wife.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to. My buddy got married, and at the end of the ceremony, or at the end of the whole entire wedding, like we were literally dancing our butts off for like 4 hours. But there was a point where, before the wedding actually, he gave all of his groomsmen swords, like actual real life sharp swords. One of them was a katana.
Are they LARPers?
One of them was a no. One of them was a gladius. One of them was like an Irish ranger sword, or like archer sword, something like that. Yeah, there was just all different types of swords.
Sword.
Yeah, from different like areas of the world, and it was super cool. And I was kind of jealous because I saw them all getting swords, and I was like, oh, I want one. That's so sick. Like that's literally the coolest groomsman gift I've ever seen. Swords.
Did they have them
so
sheathed on them during the ceremony?
Dude, I suggested that. Like that would have been so cool. That would have been so
have
dope.
Them just at their side or on their back.
One of them did bring their sword, the gladius, to like the changing room while we were there at the venue. And dude, I accidentally broke the chain on it. Like on the sheath.
Okay.
And then I fixed it. Don't worry. So then, yeah, at the end, this is why I'm bringing the swords up. One of the guys was saying, oh, Justin, come get your girlfriend. And then she like pulls out the sword, points it to the guy. I'm his wife. And it was just such an epic moment because, I don't know, she was just dressed in her outfit, her dress.
Did they play the Lord of the Rings music when she said that?
I mean, maybe in my head, but yeah, it was sick. It was just a cool moment that just like is ingrained in my brain.
Sounds fun.
TV
monitor, South Korea, 5 HTP.
All right, so these are all kind of lumped into one day, because I literally felt like you know the movie Limitless, of course.
Yes, I love that movie. Did you see the TV show?
No, I didn't know.
It was a TV show that ran for 2 seasons about some like another runt that finds the pill and like becomes like a
super
like he works for like the
smart,
FBI or whatever. So like they have him solving cases, and then Bradley Cooper comes back because he's the mayor now.
The mayor,
because of his taking his pill, he turned his life around and he became the mayor or something. And then it got canceled, but it was good for the 2 seasons that it ran.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome. So yeah, Limitless. I guess I'll kind of start from there. And so there was this day, the 26th, which I'm thinking is what, Tuesday?
If today's the 30th, 4 days ago would be, Tuesday.
So I could not stop cleaning and getting things done. I was just super hyper productive. And I think that might have been the day that I started taking I think it was Saturday. Anyways, I started taking this 5-HTP supplement where it's like it's supposed to help with anxiety and whatnot.
I think isn't this the stuff you mentioned before?
I mentioned this before.
Yeah.
But the reason I mentioned Limitless is because I just couldn't I couldn't stop getting stuff done. I just kept on doing things. I was like cleaning my room, I was doing laundry, I was like doing this and doing that, like making food. I was, working on beats. I was, just being really, really productive that day. And then I was actually taking my computer monitor. I'm like, let me go grab the TV from the other room because it's like a 60-inch TV, maybe even bigger, like 65-inch TV.
You mean the TV in Theo's little corner?
Yeah. It's like a big screen. So I was like, okay, let me put it in my room, see if I can, get some use out of it. So I take everything off my desk and then put it on here, and then I plug it in. I'm like, oh, this is like really close to me because I don't have another like table that I, could set it on.
Yeah.
And everything's just like super close. So I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna work. And then the frame rate, like my mouse was lagging and things were lagging on the screen because the refresh rate.
Yeah, the refresh rate with too many inputs or too many outputs. It's gonna slow it down.
Well, also just TV monitors are set differently.
I have a TV set to my.
I know you can change it to where it works smoothly, but I couldn't be arsed to figure it out because
it's also probably because your computer isn't the most like beefy, isn't the beefiest, so even handling a screen that size is probably a little laggy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I couldn't be arsed to figure it out. I was just like, let me just get rid of this real quick. Let me just put it back because this is just too big. Like I literally had to like move my head across the screen because it was just like too big for my eyes to. Yeah. It would wear my eyes out. So I did that, and then I get this call, bro. It's from South Korea. I'm like, how in the world does South Korea have my number, and why are they calling me?
Thank your phone, people. Thank your phone company.
Who knows, dude? But anyways, I didn't pick it up. It's the typical like telemarketer kind of thing. They left a message, and I don't know who's giving out my number.
That's literally what phone companies do. So they sell your phone number.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's in the contracts.
Why do they want it?
Because they get money for selling phone numbers to advertisers and all that junk.
Yeah, I understand that. But why do the people who are calling me need my number? What am I going to do for them?
They don't even know you.
That's what they think.
I don't even know who you
are. So yeah, that was kind of that day. And dude, I was out another night with my Unis Honest hoodie on, and I got recognized at Target.
Yeah.
There was this guy, he's just like, I like your hoodie. And
yeah, but it's like, I feel like they would say something specific, right?
Okay, but it's just
because
a black
the same
hoodie
thing
with
happened
some white
to me.
text
Yeah,
on
but
it.
the same thing happened to me with this one that I'm wearing now.
Okay, but yours is a bit more obvious.
Yes, it's very obvious. Because, like, if you know that hoodie, it's very familiar. But it's like, the dude seemed very excited to see it, but he just said, hey, I love your hoodie.
Yeah, it was About
He was also, I think,
was a-
probably like if it was a girl. So I don't know if he was gonna freak out too much. He's like, I'm on a date.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, whoa, you too?
Yeah.
Because we're all nerds.
Yeah. It was about the same thing that happened with me, man. Like, the guy seemed very excited. He's like, I like your hoodie. And then, yeah, he was one of the workers there.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, he couldn't, like, stop and chat about it. I don't think he would have anyways, but,
Yeah.
you know, who knows. But that's just a fun little thing is, like, I finally got noticed for my Unis Honest hoodie.
Yeah.
It's not like I wear it out that much, but
Yeah.
still.
I saw one on campus. I think I told you about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you were walking
They
by
were
the
wearing it.
classroom.
They just
and-
had the founder's hoodie. Just the normal one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I have the founder's hoodie, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that same day, dude, I almost got ran over
By a reindeer.
by an old man.
By 3 vatos.
I was... No. I'm getting to that next. But there was this guy, and I was coming out of the parking structure. I was, like, walking across the street. Mind you, there was a crosswalk, like, designated zebra on the road. And this there's a stop sign. And this truck just runs right through the stop sign. And then there's another car behind him. Like, the truck, I was kind of, like, maybe 10 feet away from the truck still. But then I keep walking, and then the second car comes out. And that guy doesn't stop either. And it's like the smaller coupe. So he like almost runs me over, dude. I was maybe about like a foot away or so from getting run over from this guy. And then he stops. He's like, I'm sorry. And then like the only thing I could think of was like, you're good. I'm just like, you're good.
Being too nice.
You know?
I would not have said, you're good,
okay.
dude.
No,
would have
because-
gone very different.
Cause like this is the face that I made. I was like, I was just like,
So you went, you're good.
no. I did this face, and then he stopped
Okay.
because he realized what he did.
Yeah.
Cause there's like a pillar in the middle, so I'm assuming he didn't see me when I was walking, cause I was like just barely obscured from his
But
sight.
see, here's the thing on your part, looking both ways.
No,
Before you're
the
crossing
thing is,
the thing.
I saw that they were coming.
And you
But I
continue to
expected
go.
both of them to stop. I expected both of them to stop. There was a stop sign for them. What do you mean? I'm in the right here.
Exactly, but
I
still,
have right of way.
I know it doesn't
have
matter.
right of
That
way.
doesn't matter. You still have to act like everyone's an idiot.
I mean, I didn't get run over, first of all. So I'm still here. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So,
For now.
for now.
Till
These
you
freaking-
walk across the Target parking lot, getting your stuffed animal and get bicked
No,
by
that's
the
not going to
backside of
happen.
a drifting high schooler by the spoiler on his Miata, and you're gonna get bicked in the back.
Nah, bro. Nah.
And then you
Just
can be
takes
like,
me-
"It's Dalmatian blood,"
Yeah, right.
and drip
I
it all
mean,
over the dog.
If that guy had a spoiler on his car, maybe that would have caught me, you know?
Are you gonna put a noose on the dog's neck and put it
Dude,
on your waist?
I don't even know if I'm getting a dog. I don't even know if I could find one.
Bro, just go to like Target and go to the
Bro, you
kids section.
think they're selling Dalmatians?
They're probably selling white dogs, and then you could just draw or like spray paint on little black dots with a Sharpie or something.
That would mean I would have to spend money on a white stuffed dog
Yes.
and not be able to return it.
That's how Halloween goes, dude.
Yeah, you can never return it.
Spend your money for fun night.
Also, three vatos. Bro, I was in the parking structure last night.
That's the Halloween costume you should have done.
I know, right? Just have like two other vatos with me. Like, you know how you have those like sticks and then it has like the mannequins on them?
Yeah.
Or not mannequins, but like the
puppetry
you know,
thing.
puppetry. Yeah. So there was this license plate said three vatos, one. I was
Oh,
like,
so he's one of the three.
mm-hmm.
Very
Uh,
interesting.
I'm assuming he's the ringleader because he's vato
he's
number
one.
one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's the oldest, and it's like three brothers.
Who knows,
I
dude?
don't know. I'm not
That
a
could be the
vato.
case. I mean, technically everybody's a vato.
Yeah, but
That's not true.
Everyone's a vato in their
own respect.
To each their own vato.
Mm-hmm. I actually need to. Okay. Used to address or refer to a man. So, half the world is a vato.
Sure.
And then half of that is actually a vato.
Sure.
So maybe a fourth of the world is a vato. Because, you gotta take out the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
And the ladies. Just the men. Anyways. Let's breeze past
I have a quick tiddly bit.
Yeah, quickly, because
that
we
I
actually
would
are
like
running
to,
out of time
yes, no,
to
we're
talk about
gonna,
the rest of the stuff.
We're gonna be going a little bit past probably. Do you love food?
Dude, of course I love food.
Do you love making food?
Yeah.
Check it, everything I just sent you.
Oh, do we have a HelloFresh sponsorship?
No, but I have been taking pictures of every piece of food I have made because I get so proud.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like, I'm not posting it. It's like, oh, that looks delicious. I'm going to take a picture.
Okay. Man's out here being a connoisseur of sorts.
Sir. Okay, so there's the sandwich on the blue plate.
Yeah. The Cubano?
No.
It's not a Cubano. It's just a sub.
That is a turkey club. Turkey club.
Oh.
Lettuce, tomato, a crap ton of turkey, some provolone, and some bacon with mayonnaise. That is the best sandwich I have ever made.
That first one?
No, like that is the best tasting sandwich I have ever made.
Oh, so just in general, that type of sandwich?
Yes. Like the pastrami melt on like the baguette, you can't go wrong. There is a Cubano in there, which is the one that's got the bites taken out of it because I forgot to take the picture.
Oh my gosh.
That burger was really good. That was a buffalo burger. And then that was carrot cake.
Buffalo burger. Dang, this guy's out here spoiled.
And then that slab of meat is a pork butt, pork shoulder. And then them ribs. Those were both smoked.
I love me some butt.
Those were both smoked. Oh, we know you do.
Yeah.
And butt chugging.
And that carrot cake?
Yeah.
Is that carrot cake?
Yeah.
Dude.
It was delicious.
Carrot cake is the best.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I just wanted to highlight my culinary genius.
Yes.
Real quick.
He'll be putting pictures up.
Yeah. Just
I love
real
it.
quick before we get into
all of it looks real good. I'm extremely hungry now.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Don't worry, we'll have food tonight.
Bro,
Probably.
I'm not gonna wait till tonight. Freaking A, dude.
But I just wanted to throw that out there before we get into the spice.
The spice.
The spice of today's episode. Oh, what were we talking about podcast? Number 24, Mamba
24.
episode.
Hey, Mamba episode.
Has nothing to do with Kobe Bryant. We're sorry.
I mean, just this one little mention.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
But hey, you can relate it to Timothee Chalamet, who is 25. So if you take 24 and add 1, and then you get 25.
Wait, Timothee Chalamet is 25?
I think so.
He is. Bro, he's about to be 26.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this guy was like 21.
No.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Anyways,
we saw two Timothee Chalamet
movies.
In
but
a
not
row.
for Timothee Chalamet. We saw them for the art.
Well, no.
We saw them for the fun of it.
Yeah.
We saw them for the podcast. Actually.
I didn't know you did. You did. I didn't.
Well, yes.
I was gonna go see him regardless.
So,
but
let's talk about the French Dispatch
first. Let's talk about
first.
the French Dispatch first, yes.
The reason why is because
I didn't see that because of Timothée Chalamet. I saw that because of Wes Anderson and
I didn't see either
pretty much
of the
most
movies
of the
because
other
of
cast.
Timothée Chalamet. This is the first Timothée Chalamet thing I've ever watched.
Oh, okay.
Any of these things.
Interesting.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh.
I bonked my mic. So, Timothee Chalamet, he is, let's just put it this way. He's a pretty boy, okay? And he is shy about his new muscles.
That was one of the stupidest but greatest callbacks.
Dude, okay.
Well, because it happened in the tub in like his section of the movie, and then it comes back later at the end. And then there is a muscles comment in Dune. So it's like,
which I was like, bro,
there has to be something.
There has to be a link
because they
you
came
were
out
like,
on
no.
I was like, there's
You
no
were like,
way
no.
because these movies are completely different and made by completely different directors, and they were shot at completely different times.
True.
But it could have just been.
It could have been a coincidence.
It could have just been little Timmy, like wanting to throw in a little funny.
Yeah.
Callback because the movies did come out on the same day.
Yeah.
So.
Which would be funny if you saw both of the movies on the same day.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait a minute.
I'm shy about my new muscles.
He knows about the muscles.
Yeah. Yeah, because Duncan, played by Duncan Idaho, played by Jason Momoa, comments on his muscles in Dune as well. So.
Oh, look, you got some muscles
like,
on you.
You got bigger. You got some muscle? He's like, really? No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the French.
The French Dispatch.
The French.
I don't think that's a French accent, though.
No, I'm going to let
Not at
you
all.
spearhead this one because
Really?
you said you liked this one more. So,
Okay, yeah.
go ahead.
My opinion of the French Dispatch over Dune, I do like the French Dispatch better. For reasons. It's artsy-fartsy. I really like that. Wes Anderson is phenomenal.
Well, he's
I don't know what,
also your guy.
I mean, it's funny how you say he's my guy, but I really haven't watched too much.
Yeah,
too
but
much
you
Wes
always
Anderson.
say, yeah, but you've said multiple of times excuse me, your favorite director is Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I think is because it's memorable. His stuff is memorable. And I'm like, okay, it's a very distinct style that you can tell is Wes Anderson, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just something so different from everybody else, or at least from what I've seen, that I'm like, this is cool. I can back this.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's just something about the way that he shoots each scene. It's just, in this movie specifically,
Symmetry.
it was
always three.
Not only symmetry, but just I loved how still everything was. Like,
yeah, like
for
there's not many cuts. It's just long white. It's like white takes.
Yeah,
you're just you're getting the whole scene from one stationary point.
And I liked that because in movies there's a lot of like cutting around, moving around, and
pace.
In this film, it was, you really got the setting, you know. You really got like you felt like you were there, you know, because you were just kind of immersed in this tiny little world, you know.
This tiny little building.
Yeah. And so that was really cool, and just something about the writing in this movie was insane. I was like so amazed at the poeticness, if that's not even a word, the poetry, the poeticism.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. And there was something so special about it. You know, each word was with intention. Each shot was with intention. Each pause was with intention. And the film had these moments where it was almost completely silent, and there was just something, just like a little sound here and there, you know, just like maybe a bird chirping or a dog barking, and the wind blowing, you know, and it would just set the scene, and it would be, you'd really have to like focus in, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, there's something so cool and intimate about those scenes and in those moments.
So I'm going to go through the list of 21 things.
Okay.
that Wes Anderson has directed, and you're gonna say which ones you have seen.
I've only seen like 3.
It's gonna be it's less than 21 because there's commercials in here too. Okay. Bottle Rocket, 1996. Owen Wilson
No.
and his brother Luke Wilson,
No.
based off of the short film Bottle Rocket, filmed 2 years before.
Mm-mm.
One of my favorite Wes Anderson films. Rushmore with Bill Murray.
Nope.
The Royal Tenenbaums with Bill Murray.
No.
Life Aquatic with Bill Murray.
No.
Darjeeling Limited.
Nope.
That's Owen Wilson. Fantastic Mr. Fox, George Clooney.
Yes, that was actually my introduction to Wes Anderson.
Okay.
Fantastic film.
Moonrise
About
Kingdom.
a fox. Nope.
No? Oh, that's a good one. Also Bill Murray and Bruce Willis. That's a short. Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes, sir. Of course I watched that, bro. If they got my freaking hometown up in there, up in that joint.
Isle of
Shut up.
Dogs. Jeff
So
Goldblum.
I started Isle of Dogs, but I was so tired,
And Bryan Cranston.
I fell asleep.
And Bill Murray.
So I never finished Isle of Dogs, but
And Ed
it
Norton.
looked really interesting just by the way that it was done.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks sick. I need to watch
Yeah,
it.
it was similar.
Because it was
to
done like Fantastic Mr. Fox.
The French Dispatch.
Never seen it.
Okay. And he has a new movie coming out next year called Asteroid City.
Ooh, that actually sounds sick.
Plot unknown, rumored to be a love story set in Europe. Starring Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson,
Oh.
Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, Bill Murray, Bryan Cranston, Liev Schreiber, Rupert Friend, Matt Dillon, Hope Davis, Jason Schwartzman, and Tony Revolori, who's the Budapest.
Just a bunch
Hotel
of
kid.
great
Everybody
actors.
he's ever worked with, again. Much
Basically.
like in French Dispatch, it was almost
Yeah.
everybody he ever worked with, like minus Ray Fiennes and Jason Schwartzman. No,
Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman was in it. Minus
Yeah,
Ray
he was.
Fiennes. Yeah, it's like everybody.
Yeah,
So-
the cast on this film was actually sick. I love how everything was segmented out into different stories too.
Yeah, they were each one of the article magazines like sections that were written.
So for those who don't know, basically the French Dispatch, it's actually kind of hard to say.
French Dispatch.
Was this like, would you say it was like a magazine?
Yeah,
It was like a,
it was a fictional magazine.
yeah. And they were, they had these articles, and each of the different writers gets a story that they tell. And
Much
then it's
like
just
the news.
Right.
But it's
of
a
course.
magazine, so it's not as like news heavy. It's just like before there were blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we start off with kind of this like poem about the city with Owen Wilson.
The shortest story.
The shortest, very
four
short.
pages.
It was only like 5 minutes in
But
total.
yeah,
I don't know. It's, like,
it was
really
a very
quick.
poetic, constantly
Mhm.
moving, really big, one long sentence.
It was nice
Yes.
because it framed the city. It
yeah,
put us
it
into
gave
the
you
city.
it gave you a sense of setting.
Yeah.
It gave you the where of the 5
Mhm.
W's in a matter
Right.
of minutes of the opening of the movie, which is kind of necessary.
Yes.
Ennui.
Ennui. And there was a river where every day 8 people washed ashore or something like that.
Yes. And
is
there were
crazy.
also marauding choir boys, half drunk on the blood of Christ, wreaking havoc in the streets.
Of course.
Another line.
You've got to have it.
Yeah.
Um,
And then it would cut
But-
back to Bill Murray actually going to that person's place in that building
mhm.
to get their written article,
Story.
to have a
yeah.
little conversation with them about it, and then
Yeah,
it would
it's
move
like,
on
hey,
to
you
the
need
next
to-
one. It's like,
Because he was the
he-
editor.
yeah, he's like
Like,
editor,
he
yeah, he's
edited it.
chief of the whole thing. It was his magazine.
Yeah. Given to him
So
by his father.
Yeah, so they'd have these little banters back and forth just from that one angle usually, with the one
Yeah.
guy eating in the background.
That guy was always there.
That but he had this one long like Pocky stick or whatever. Not Pocky stick, or what are they called?
Pocky?
Are they Pocky
Yeah.
sticks? The things that you
if
you
it
dip
is
in the
what I'm
chocolate?
thinking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pocky.
He had like something that looked like that, but it was really long. And then in each scene he was in, it was getting
just
shorter
kept
and
getting
shorter
shorter?
and shorter. And then at the last scene, he was like eating the last bite of it.
Oh yeah, I literally did not notice that at all.
Yeah. He was just always in the background whenever they would cut back after the stories.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he was eating that.
Because they explained each person at the beginning, and his explanation was like, the one person who constantly is berating the halls with food who hasn't contributed a single thing in a decade.
Dude, when he came in, the little boy, like the teenager kid, he's just like, it's going live in an hour. And then Bill Murray's just like, you're fired.
You're fired. Xena,
And then the guy starts crying. He's like, no crying.
and it pans up, so they're no crying.
Yeah.
That's great. And then
I
he's
thought
at the
that was-
end, and he's not fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, wait, he's a part of the thing.
He's not fired. He's just...
No.
Yeah.
He probably says that to him like daily.
Yeah. First says it to everybody.
Yeah.
But...
So, yeah, and then there was a story. It goes...
Prison story
Was
is
it
next.
it was Del Toro,
Yeah.
and then it was the lady, and
with,
then it was the father-son with Nescaffier.
Yes.
So there were really like 3 stories that were like the main stories.
Yeah.
And the first one was the story of this prisoner who was extremely mentally disturbed.
Yeah,
but
he was in prison for double homicide at the age of like 18 or 16 or whatever.
Something like that. Because like he had killed these people in the bar because they were
harassing like an elderly woman.
I thought it was a dude, like an older man.
I don't know. I thought it was an older woman. I know it was 2
It
dudes
doesn't matter.
harassing somebody.
Yeah. So then he gets in, and apparently, like, he has to do something with himself. So he takes up,
Painting.
this art class,
Yeah.
and then eventually he takes up painting.
Yeah.
And he has this muse, and he paints her, but it's like very abstract modern art.
Yeah,
and
she's a guard.
Yeah.
He finds a muse in one of the guards. And
Right.
They have like a platonic relationship with no actual
Well,
feelings from her. Yeah, platonic's not the right word. But
platonic is not the right.
No,
if
it's
friends
not.
with benefits.
Friends with
is
benefits.
more-
Friends with benefits, but
they're not really friends.
But he thinks it's love.
Yeah. But they're not really friends.
No.
Anyways,
she's probably just doing it so he doesn't off himself.
Who knows?
So he has
No.
a muse.
I don't know. I think she was like, they were mutually both benefiting. It was like a mutual benefit for both of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he's super talented. He's, one of the greatest painters in that era. And there's this guy who like had avoided tax evasion. And he was in there with him, and he saw the painting that he had made, and he's like, I want to buy this. So when he gets out, he starts promoting this painting and like tries to blow it up, and he goes all over the world doing these tours of like this painting, and then the rest of a couple of other of his older works, the prison mates' works. And finally, there's this huge climax where the prisoner, he paints this huge like mural, but it's like multiple different paintings, and it's on the wall.
He paints directly on the wall
prison
of
wall.
the penitentiary.
Yeah.
So it cannot be removed or sold.
Yeah. So then they have like this gallery viewing where they get like all these high snobby individuals into the prison to come view this this painting or this set of paintings that he's done, because it's like his magnum opus.
Yeah.
And basically the guy who was praising him all along was like, "You're an idiot. I hate you. Like, why would you do this to me? You've ruined everything."
Yeah.
And
Because they can't
then this
do anything about it.
huge prison fight breaks out.
But you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see
I
it.
loved how he did the stills for the fights.
The stop frame.
But it
Dude, it's
wasn't
so cool.
actually still frames.
They were just all standing
They
still.
were all just standing still.
That's sick.
Because if you really looked, like, you could see like their arms are shaking a little bit, or like there's a little bit of movement. So like that's that really wide panning shot, or not panning shot, it was a tracking shot of just going through the crowd, and like that's even more impressive because if it was a still, yeah, you could have things flying and make it easy to freeze. But like there was a tray of drinks halfway slid, but the drinks were falling out, but it was all frozen. So it's like that's all like wire work and like amazing job by the set dressers and props. He
100%.
does a great job with, or I shouldn't say he does because he's not the actual set dresser, but he probably has a lot of say. His sets and his color especially is very.
Speaking about color,
yes,
mind you, this entire film is like in black and white.
No,
a lot of it. Most
of
the film is
the
black
past
and white.
is in black and white.
Okay, so the prisoner story, black and white.
Yeah.
The second lady story, black and white.
Well, if it wasn't if it wasn't the points to where
you're right, it was
like,
the past that was
past.
in black and white.
So like whenever they would cut back to
but the whole film was in the past. The whole film was
most
talking
of it.
about
but that's
events
because
of
the
the past.
stories were the past, yeah. But like Tilda Swinton was giving the presentation about
that was
so like
in
that
color,
would cut back to color, or like it would cut back
those were only like little tidbits of like, you know.
Yeah. But mind you, when there was color,
it was colorful.
Very vivid.
It was vibrant.
Yeah.
There was purpose in the color.
Well, that's Wes Anderson.
And the funny thing is like I didn't even necessarily miss the color.
Yeah.
While I was watching it, because it was so engaging.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The film was so engaging.
Yeah.
And whenever there was color, it was this moment of like, okay, there's meaning to this. There's actually like a reason we need to have the color here.
Yeah.
It's to show something. It's to kind of like bring attention to something.
Yeah.
So, anyways, after that, that prison story, that's kind of where it ends.
That
like
was that was the longest story.
Yeah.
They even make a comment at the beginning, like, she wrote this story. I gave her a limit of 1,200 words, and she wrote 14,000, or something like that.
I know, right?
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was just an insane amount of words. So the second story is about this lady who's this reporter, this journalist, and she's like reporting on the youth, but it's like this revolution.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to explain this one? Because this one was...
Okay, this is Timothee Chalamet's section.
Yeah.
So it was like... The way that it started was that she got in with reporting on the kids. Because they were like... going against like their school.
Oh, yeah.
To have
I remember now.
To have full access to the girls' side of campus. The boys wanted access.
The boys wanted to be able to go into the girls' locker room or something.
No, I think they just wanted access to their side and their rooms.
Into their rooms, yeah, into their rooms.
So there was a chess match between Timothee Chalamet and like, I don't know, it was like the dean or something. I can't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
And she's in the back like reporting on it because it's a weird story to happen. Yeah. And then it turns into like these kids want to start a revolution, and it's very like theatrical and metaphorical. It's almost like watching a play, the way it kind of goes out. Because there's like the underlying love story with the two kids, but it's like...
But then also with the reporter.
Yeah, but I don't... Nah, that one didn't...
No, but that one
that's just like that quirky Wes Anderson style of love stories. It's more of like a funny thing, I think.
Yeah.
And then then he was trying to focus on with the other girl. But
yeah.
There's like this big revolution, and then like, mind you, up to this point, every shot has been static on tripod. And then they get to the revolution, and these kids are like held up, like, and they're playing chess against like some government official. I don't know how it works in France. But it's like they're held up like in this courtyard surrounded by military, and he's playing chess by himself, and then they relay a move that he made to an officer on the outside, who then calls the government official who's playing chess against him, like in another probably part of the country or whatever.
I don't remember this part.
You went to the bathroom.
Oh, this is the one
This
part
is
where I
when you
went to the
bath-
restroom.
Yeah, like the critical part of the story. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like they're playing chess pretty much over the phone,
yeah.
and the chess
That's
match
funny.
is gonna like
Determine
determine
whether,
the
like,
revolution and like if they get what they want from his little memoir that he's been writing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
a memoir; it was a manifesto. Manifesto that he's been writing. That was like the underlying kind of thing about it too. Is like he's constantly writing it and like asking about it, and people are like giving him crap for it, and then they get in this big heated argument about how the manifesto's crap, and like this isn't what I don't know. We are revolutionaries. This isn't what we're doing it for. Whatever the girl like brings up, and then like the shots go from static to handheld, which is interesting for Wes Anderson, especially in this film because everything was static except for this one shot. Because it was one long shot, it would just go back and forth, and you could obviously tell it was handheld. So it was weird to see that come out of nowhere, but it took me out of the moment because I noticed it, but that's probably just because of being someone who looks for stuff like that. But like once what I thought about was like, okay, well, so there's obviously something going on here that he wants to highlight. So
Yeah.
which was that like whole love triangle thing, and like there's this tension that you're like you need to move your chess, you need to move the piece, the time's gonna run out, you need to move the piece, and then tear gas comes because they didn't move the piece, and then the reporter's like, go make love, and then they ride off on their bike, and then they go back to start the revolution again at the radio tower, and the tower breaks, and Timothee climbs up to fix it, and he fixes it, and he takes a moment to take in the city, and then it gets struck by lightning. And then that section ends after she like gives her little disposition on it.
And he died being shy about his muscles.
He did.
So sad.
It came up many a times in that little story. Which I thought was
He
funny.
literally brought it up at least like 3 times.
He brought it up when he was because he was hiding from his parents, like in the bathtub, and then she looks in and she's like, "Can you turn away, please? I'm shy about my muscles."
Mm-hmm.
She just turns
About
away.
my new muscles.
About my new muscles.
About my
right.
new muscles.
New
Yeah.
muscles, yeah.
And then he says it to the girl too.
Yeah.
When they were like together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that part. That was really cool too. And then the last part.
Last section was Jeffery Wright. The police story.
Yes, the police story was dope. I liked it.
Because he's like a legit. He's like a reporter.
Yeah.
Like he's like a crime reporter, like a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So basically, he was doing an interview with Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
Or Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he's doing this interview, and he's just like, "Oh, so you have a photographic memory?" And he's just like, "Actually, no, I have a typographic memory, which means I can remember everything I've written."
Yes.
So basically, he was quoting word for word an article he had written about the story of this father and son, and like how he was invited to.
Well, it wasn't a father
them.
and son. It was like the police detective, like the head captain of the police department, and his son.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. It was like a father and his son. It was a story about them technically because his son got
kidnapped by Edward Norton.
Yeah, I was just like, is that Edward Norton?
Yeah.
And yes,
I knew. I saw that little lengthy body with his stride. I was like, that's Edward Norton.
Yeah. But I almost looked it up mid-film because I was like, I feel like I know this guy.
Yeah.
Like, is that Edward Norton? Like, it probably is.
Yeah.
So anyways, so the reporter, he's like at the police officer's or like police chief's house, and
no, it wasn't the house.
Where was it at?
It was at the police department.
The beginning. It was at the
It's
police
at the police department. Because remember at the beginning they showed him he had this really complicated map of the building.
Yeah.
And he was in the police department. He was in the it's in the police department. And he was just he just talked about like he was getting lost because the map was so he's like the one thing that like because what was the line about homosexuals that he said.
I
It was about cartography, because he's like, the one thing homosexuals aren't good at is cartography, and he had a map of the building of where he needed to go.
Was he implying that he was a homosexual?
Yeah, because there's another comment later on that mentions, like, because he's like, Willem Dafoe was the one in the chicken coop in the prison, in one of the cells, and he's like, oh, I also spent some time in the chicken coop, or like Liev Schreiber asks him that, and then he's like, why? And then he just says, because of love. He was thrown in prison for being gay.
Really?
Is what the implication was.
Is that what the implication was?
Yeah, because look at the time period that this thing was supposed to be set in France.
You know, that was also another question I had. It was like, what year was this set in? What time period?
Well, if you look at like the colors of like the dresses that Tilda Swinton was wearing, like the way that the interview was set up in the last section.
It must have been like 100 years ago or something, right?
No.
When was this set? Not 100 years ago.
There was no such thing as TV 100 years ago. No, I know. Yes, there was. I'm stupid. Yes, there was. I want to say... Yeah, that's what I thought. It's around the 60s.
Oh, okay. So not quite 100
and then
years.
the 60s would be like the present day stuff, and then the flashbacks would be decades before, or a few decades before, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or like a few months before, depending on which story it was. But
so then basically the kid got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And they had to go get him.
And they used the lieutenant, who is also a chef.
Yes.
To like make a peace with the kidnappers up in their building, so they have him come in and make them some food, but the radishes are poisoned, and the captain knows that his son hates radisci, whatever, so he wouldn't eat them. And those were what was and those were what were poisoned, and he knew his kid wouldn't eat them, so it killed everybody else except for Edward Norton, who then drove away.
He didn't like radishes either.
Yes. So it turns into this big chase, but they do it on like a comic strip kind of way.
Yeah, it's all drawn out.
Yeah, which was really fun to watch, because it's like this weird, like these jarring movements, and the sounds were fun, and
it was interesting.
It was really well designed. And they would run, or they would drive. They'd get out of the car. They'd run for 2 miles, and they would end up back at the car.
Get back to the car,
and then they would go again. Yeah, it's great.
And at the end, when the son and the father are reunited, the son just like smacks him in the face.
Yeah.
Mind you, the son is like 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And it's a nice story.
Yeah. And then like there's the bow tie of back with Bill Murray, and he's like,
yeah.
So the only thing that the chef told you was this one word, or this one thing. He's like, no, he told me one other thing, but I took it out. Well, let me read it.
And it was this like touching story.
Yeah, where he's because he had to eat the poisonous food.
Yeah.
To prove that it wasn't poisonous, so he ate it.
His iron stomach.
With his iron stomach, he could survive. Yeah. So he's lying there like in the hospital bed, and he's like,
he says something profound.
They had a taste. He's talking about the poison.
I've never tasted this
before. The poison in the radish
it was
had
bitter
a taste.
But sweet. Yes. But it was this and that, and
it was a really good piece of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was trying to remember it all to write it down for my quote for my movie a day.
Yeah.
But I only got they had a taste, and I'm like, oh, I missed the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got my phone out, it's like, oh, whatever. But
yeah.
And then it cuts back to Bill Murray, and he's like, well, that's the best part of the damn story. Put it back in. And then it cuts away to everybody back in Bill Murray's office.
Yeah.
But they finally cut to the camera of the desk, and he has his heart attack that they mention at the very beginning about what his whole lifespan would be.
Yeah, the whole movie is prefaced in the beginning. They mention that he's actually dead.
Yeah.
And they're just
recounting the last story that will be written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was actually pretty sick.
Yeah. And then it just ends with them writing. All the writers come together in the room. The writers, the editors, everyone that was involved.
Yeah.
Like Owen Wilson sits down and is like, "Who's gonna help me? Help you with what?
And then they all
Write the
start writing it
obituary."
together.
And they all start contributing to writing the obituary, and the movie ends.
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very touching.
It was really well put together. I think it
Really good
might
movie.
be my favorite Wes Anderson movie I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there for me.
Yes.
Because I really don't have other ones to go off of except
Yeah.
for like the Grand Budapest
Yeah.
Hotel and Fantastic
Budapest
Mr.
was
Fox.
good. I really love Bottle Rocket. I
Yeah.
really love Bottle Rocket. I was introduced to that in high school, which is very different. It's not it's not Wes Anderson in this format.
Yeah, this one was really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot to take in, mind you.
Yeah.
But
It's also
worth
my
it.
kind of movie. It's a talkie.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's
like the
dialogue heavy, and it's like good pacing, good editing, and
It didn't rely on just like a bunch of explosions and stuff.
no,
like that.
it doesn't rely on.
Fancy
It doesn't.
effects and
Not. I mean, both movies do this. That it doesn't rely on you. It doesn't rely. What am I trying to say?
I don't know, dude.
It doesn't rely on itself to bring the audience with it. It's gonna move regardless.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
yeah.
not a crutch to the audience. It's not waiting for you or trying to explain the story to you. It's gonna tell its story whether you figure it out or not.
Right.
And you'll get it in some sense, but if you don't, then you're gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Which Wes Anderson movies you kind of need to watch more than once anyway, just the way that they move. There's a lot
Yeah.
to pay attention to and a lot to nitpick and like pull out
Yeah.
of it. You can't really get from just one scene, one watch.
Yeah. The French Dispatch. Would watch again. Super cool movie.
Probably will watch again.
Go see it if you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high up there, highly rated. So, okay, let's get to Dune. I
You
know.
ruined my segue.
Okay, do your segue.
And now, 10,000 years later, we are on the planet Arrakis. With Timothée Chalamet waking up with his muscles in bed.
Yes, this is true. This is actually fact.
This is true. So we saw
He
this
survived
movie.
the revolution.
He did. Yeah, he didn't
and
die.
now he's on Arrakis.
He didn't
No,
die.
he's not. He's not on Arrakis. He's on Caladan,
He's on Caladan, yes.
home of House Atreides.
House Atreides. But
Yeah,
he
Atreides.
got shocked by the lightning, and
Atreides
instead
nuts.
of being killed, he was teleported 10,000 years into the future
Exactly.
onto another planet. And
cryogenically frozen
cryogenically
with his new muscles.
with his new muscles and his father, played by Oscar Isaac. Who else was in this movie?
Dude, there were so many people in this movie. What do you mean?
No, I can't. I'm like
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
We
Yes,
had
was
Jason Momoa.
I want to get their names right. I'm gonna pull it up.
We had that one old black dude. He's famous. The old general guy. I don't know what he was doing.
The general guy. The general.
The one with the little mark on his lip.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Like the
one who,
quote unquote accountant.
I don't know what he was.
He's like his eyes flipped back or whatever. He did like all his number stuff.
Oh yeah.
We got Rebecca Ferguson. We got Zendaya. We got Jason Momoa. We got Stellan Skarsgård. We got Josh Brolin. We got Javier Bardem.
Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got Dave Bautista.
oh
We
yeah,
got
Guardians of the Galaxy.
others. And Timmy.
Timmy.
Yeah.
Good old South Park.
Yes. I
Yeah,
haven't South Park
Zendaya was the star of the show, dude.
No.
She was literally in it for like 5
She was
minutes.
the star of
if
The
that.
Sand.
Oh.
I think. Well, this movie is only
Dude.
the first half of the first book.
Let me just say, Zendaya is fine.
I disagree.
Okay? That's your opinion. I would hope you would be kidding.
That's just cute.
She's cute. I mean, I would be more than happy to have a girl as cute as that.
Why don't you try and pursue?
I'm not gonna pursue Zendaya.
Why not? You can get just get rid of Tom Holland.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. I can't compete against Spider-Man.
He could probably compete against him. Just be
I
like,
don't know, I
hey,
can't
look,
web sling,
I
bro.
can grow facial hair. He can't.
He probably can't.
I've never seen him with any sort of facial hair.
Because he probably can't.
But he's like 20-something.
I'm 20-something.
Yeah, but you also got them.
We're
you
getting
also
off
got
track.
Them Hungarian genes.
What does that even mean,
You
though?
got that Hungarian-looking beard.
Hey.
I don't know how to describe it, but it looks
I don't know what that means.
Hungarian.
Sure.
When it's longer.
Dude, I'm growing it back out again.
Again?
I showed my buddy the other day. He's like, dang, bro, you look crazy. Like, in a good way.
Nah.
Like, with that Hungarian beard. Like, exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, not in a good
Anyways, back to Dune, because we're getting off track, bro. Talking
Dune,
about Zendaya and my
back
beard.
To Dune,
like, what?
The planet of Hungarians. No.
Imagine.
So.
Ott vannak a magyarok, hallasz?
Yes. Did you, we saw this with a group of total of 11 people, and I think about half of them didn't know what was going on.
Dude.
There was we had a group chat that was going, and it was constantly like, what's happening?
It's like, does anybody know what's going on? The funny thing is, I didn't know what was going on for like a lot of the film. I was like, what is happening? There's like so many things happening.
Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my head around what was going on.
Yeah. But like it's
because you had the prophecy, then you had the freaking speaking in a different voice, and then you had speaking in and then you had like all the warfare, and then like the trade system, the economics, the ecology. Like you had the sands, you had Zendaya, you had
the rain, you had the dragonfly ships.
Yeah, those are sick though.
Dope. I love that kind of design.
Yeah, that'd be sick in real life. Yeah. The dragonfly copters. Yeah.
And then like they just pull the wings in and then do the straight dive.
That's so cool. Easy, quick landing.
But like I don't know if it was just me. I mean, Paf said he read the book, so he understood it.
Yeah, he
understood it, and it was pretty 1-to-1, pretty faithful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think I understood it pretty well. But maybe that's because I'm just so zoned in when I watch movies now.
I would say I maybe understood, like, I don't know, for a while I feel like I didn't understand like half of it. But I feel that by the end of the movie I kind of understand what's happening. Yeah. It's just, for me, it felt like we were just plopped into a scene, and we were plopped into the middle of something that, like, it's just like, hey, the movie's going, and like I'm just like trying to catch up to what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It felt like that to me. Maybe not to you, but it felt like I didn't.
Well, you definitely they give a small explanation of exposition for like what is spice, why is it important?
Spice.
And that's about and like who are the sand people?
Yeah.
And then like who are these different houses? But like they give you all you need for the characters that are in this movie. They drop you in the middle of it because like this is something that's been going on for thousands of years. So it's like also, they can't start like, from the beginning. So
there was a lot of what they were saying. Like I couldn't understand what they were actually saying. Like some of the words didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Like cuz they had some weird wordage. Like whenever they talked about like whatever the voice was, like the Balajazar or whatever, I don't know what it was. And then whenever they like spoke in a different language, I don't know. Well, obviously when they spoke in a different language, but even the subtitles.
There were subtitles.
Even with the subtitles, it's like, what is happening?
It was all like prophecy and stuff like that. Like usually.
I don't know, dude. Some of it was hard to follow for me.
Yeah, this was only the first half of the first book. Yes. And it's called Part 1. Not on the title, but in the movie it's called Part 1. There were no plans for a Part 2 or 3 when this movie was made. The studio had invested so much money into this that they did not want to pre-greenlight a sequel.
Also, it had this very like Star Wars-esque vibe. but that's kind of to be expected whenever you do like the sci-fi, otherworldly, different planets kind of vibe.
Well, there's also like the fact that like this was before Star Wars, so.
Well, regardless,
Like the original book came out before the first Star Wars film. So there's a lot of inspiration in Star Wars from Dune.
interesting.
Like,
Okay, so that's why.
Lucas took a lot of inspiration from Dune. So that's why, like, when we got out of the theater, some people were like, "It's kind of like Star Wars."
Yeah.
But I immediately went,
Well, how are we supposed to know, dude?
no, but
It's not like
but that's what people
imagine researching every single film you go watch.
Yeah, but you see, no, like
It's like,
that's
I just
want
wanna
to
have a good time and watch a good
I
movie.
understand that, but I just hate whenever people say like a space movie and they immediately say, "Oh, it's like Star Wars."
Okay, but like, tell me that Dune, this wasn't like Star Wars, like even just a little bit.
I didn't make any connection.
Shut up, bro.
No,
Shut
I didn't.
up, bro.
I wasn't thinking about. I didn't think
Shut
about it at
up.
all.
No. There were so many similarities.
Besides
bro.
what? The sand planet and the sand people. None of the ships
Bro.
were the same. There are no.
Bro.
There's great. There's an emperor. There's no like different houses. There's like the shield thing isn't a thing.
Fighting against the Imperium.
The voice thing is like the Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
But the voice came.
So
but the voice came first.
Yeah.
So it's not Star Warsy. To me, it's not a Star Warsy kind of thing. It's its own thing since it was. It's because it came
has
before.
similarities.
It has similarities because people know Star Wars more than Dune.
There you go.
But since Dune came first, Star Wars is like Dune instead of Dune like Star Wars. But the modern audience
Right.
doesn't know Dune well enough to know the correct order of things.
Yeah. Because we're not expected to.
I'm not saying anyone's expected to, but I'm just so nitpicky and I do my research and I like to know everything about it before I go into it, but that's just me.
Yes, that is just you. I would say that I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very well shot. I loved the action. The action sequences. Okay, I did have a qualm about the action sequences. The deaths felt like the deaths felt really weak.
You mean they felt
Like,
real?
I guess you could say that.
There
yeah.
you go.
I guess you could say that.
They're not lavish or dramatized. They're in a war. They're going through political war and war. So it's like it's not going to be this lavish, gigantic sacrifice or like big epic. It's just going to be these moments.
But
like, that's how
also
people
like
die.
the fights. Yeah, the fights. Like I don't know. I guess they didn't seem.
It's not going to be
I don't know.
lavish. It's going to be tactical and it's going to be quick. It's going to be a lot of it you're not going to see because they move so fast in the way that they do it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. I did like just how it was shot, and it was really beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Denis Villeneuve.
A lot of the
Beautiful.
movie was like
Beautiful movies.
a lot of quiet spots.
Yeah. He did.
There's a lot of
This is why I'm so happy we saw it in IMAX. This is why I wanted to see it in IMAX because Denis did a very interesting thing with all the sound in this movie.
yeah.
Like, especially with the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Baron, right? You know which one's the Baron?
Baron, the big guy.
Yeah. Floaty.
Yeah.
Do you know why he floats? They don't explain
He
it.
floats. Let me tell you why. He floats because of the Force.
No.
Again, Star Wars.
No.
He floats because he actually has a helium balloon in his belly. That's why it's so big.
No.
That's why he floats.
No.
I have no idea.
The thing that's on his back, that like metal thing that was on his back, that's what makes him levitate because he's so fat that he doesn't have the strength to carry himself through walking.
Interesting. But my 600-pound life says otherwise.
Yeah, but this is 10,000 years into the future, man. You never know. Hey, the gravity on those planets could be way too much.
Maybe.
You never know.
Everyone's calves should be jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, when you're running through sand, they better be.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Burning.
Through sand?
But Did you find the movie spooky or creepy?
I guess at some points.
Like
Not
the
really.
Beren stuff, I guess.
Not really.
Like, I mean,
to
there
be
were some
honest.
people in the group that saying this is spooky, this is unsettling, and I'm like, yeah, but that's just the world, I guess.
It wasn't really that
No,
spooky.
I mean, there's the stuff with like the Beren, which was like, okay, this is creepy, but this is kind of cool. With like, like that weird bug that was just random. And one of the scenes, there was like a big spider, oily spider.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
weird.
that was completely random. I'm like, that's so random, but I mean, whatever, cool. And then he's laying in like this vinegar and oil looking
Yeah.
big tub, and I'm like,
It wasn't spooky.
no, it wasn't spooky. It was. I mean, I like stuff like that. I like the odd, kind of creepy,
Yeah.
like
It reminded me of
weird.
like, what's that one movie where, was it Fight Club or was it Wanted, where they would soak themselves in like candle wax?
I think that's Wanted.
Wanted,
It's
yeah.
definitely not Fight Club.
No, it's not Fight Club.
Bullet Curve.
Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded me of that. The bath.
Yeah, that weird like motor oil bath.
Well, I mean, not that it has any similarities like physically, like
Yeah, but like
sight-wise.
soaking in like that thick, viscous kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was really, really good as the Baron. Stellan.
Who was it?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Do you know?
I thought he looked like Jeff
Do
Daniels.
you know the actor that plays It,
No,
the new It, the clown movie?
never seen it.
Did you see the Tarzan movie, the live-action Tarzan movie?
No.
Did you see the first Avengers movie?
Yes.
Do you remember the like scientist?
No.
Here, I'll make this easy. Skarsgård. Stellan Skarsgård. Well, it's like I can't like tell
Skarsgård.
you anything because you don't watch movies. It's like, oh, it's the
It's
guy
fine.
from this movie.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
I mean,
dude.
you've probably recognized him. Are you looking him up?
Not really.
No. Oh, okay. Well. All right.
Maybe. I want to say I
Anyway,
do, but like I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, yes.
There was. I remember, like, there was this story that like the people in the makeup chair, because like he had to do all that makeup for the Baron each time. Like he was trying to get more scenes to where the Baron was naked.
Oh.
Like he liked that setting for the Baron more. He thought it was like more. I don't know what it is. Don't start wanted more naked Baron. Wanted more nude scenes as the Baron. Is there a quote? We added cheeks.
Just exhibiting his
jowls.
power.
Yeah. We added cheeks, jowls, a silicone ball cap, eyebrow covers. I'm always looking to spot fake eyebrow covers in films, so we worked hard on those. Prosthetic hands, feet, and ankles. He loved being naked as the Baron. We all used to kill
Wait,
ourselves
feet
laughing.
and ankles.
Prosthetics.
You didn't even see his feet and ankles ever.
Yeah, but still, you have to, just in case. Hey, you have to do the whole costume. Things change daily. They could have come up with a shot
True.
that showed his feet.
True.
He wore a
Interesting.
20-pound bodysuit, and he requested
Ooh.
additional scenes without clothes on. He
That's
would ask
crazy.
for more nude scenes. He felt quite correctly that the Baron appeared more frightening and dangerous unclothed than cloaked. So he was always asking for more nudity.
That's funny.
And I'm sure he'll get it in the sequel.
Probably.
That has already been greenlit.
Okay. Do we want to talk about kind of just an overview of the movie?
I don't want to sit
Like
here
what
and
happened?
explain the whole freaking movie.
Just
Because there's a lot to okay. When people were confused, I sent a text in the chat to get everybody up to speed, and I'm just gonna repeat that little thing, which is a really bad explanation, but it works. House Atreides is being given orders by the Emperor to now rule over the desert planet instead of the rainy planet because of reasons. Zendaya is one of the desert people who doesn't like the Emperor taking their spice. Dave Bautista and the Fat Man used to rule desert, but now they were told to leave, so he angry. And Timmy is an angsty teen that is confused about politics and his power voice thing so far. And that was probably like 30 minutes into the movie.
That's actually the whole entire movie.
That's like the first 30 minutes of exposition.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the Baron like retaliates and attacks House Atreides and destroys everything. Hires these somewhat mercenaries.
Dude, that's crazy. They got betrayed from within.
Well, the whole idea was that the Emperor was afraid of House Atreides and what they could do, so he had them sent to Arrakis to be destroyed.
That's such a cool name, though.
Arrakis or Atreides.
Makes me think of spiders. Arrakis.
Well, Arachna, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every time I hear Atreides, I think of Atreus from God of War. Trying to think of some moments. It's hard to think of moments for this movie because every little bit was its very own interesting moment, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could sit here for 2 hours and just talk about each section, but that's a lot of time. What did you think of the music?
To be honest, bro, whenever we're watching a movie,
I'm not really, of music. Yeah,
I'm not really thinking about the music.
You're not. Well,
I was trying to figure out like what the freaking story was. I mean, like I knew what the story was, but just the way that it was put together, I don't know. It confused me for whatever reason.
Okay.
I think I was just having an off day.
Yeah.
Like with my brain.
Okay. Well,
my processing power wasn't there.
Nope. Much like your TV monitor.
Right.
Yep. Couldn't keep up. But this score was weird because it's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
But it's
like
Hans Zimmer not sounding like Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, the dark side.
Hans Zimmer, the different side.
Ooh, Hans Zimmer, the Dune side.
Yeah.
What? The goofy side.
I did play the soundtrack on the way home.
Okay.
And there was like
Thoughts?
extreme fog on the freeway. And there was nobody on the freeway at 2 in the morning.
I love that.
So I'm just blasting this Hans Zimmer orchestral beauty barreling down a highway.
How many barrels did you have with you?
How many what? Oh,
No,
how many barrels? Oh, how many Barons did I have?
Oh.
None, because
Baroning
he would have
down the
weighed
highway.
down my car. Would have been scraping on the ground probably. Did I tell you this?
Car becomes a lowrider.
More than it already is.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story about how Hans Zimmer got this job as the composer?
No,
I feel like I mentioned it a long time ago.
I think you might have mentioned it.
But remember when Tenet was coming out?
Okay. Yeah.
And do you know how Hans Zimmer does like all of Christopher Nolan movies?
Hans Zimmer does like every movie.
Yeah, but like Christopher Nolan is like he's his composer. He does like all of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
And around the same time that Tenet was being made, Dune was going into production.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one movie that Hans Zimmer was adamant on composing if they ever made it again, which was Dune.
Mm.
So he basically told Christopher Nolan, I'm not doing your movie because I want to do this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first time I think that Hans Zimmer hasn't done a Christopher Nolan movie.
Interesting.
So that's why Christopher Nolan got Ludwig Göransson on Tenet.
Yeah, you did tell me about this, I think.
Because he was like, if anything ever happens, I'm leaving this project to go work on Dune because this is the one movie that I want to actually compose. Because he's such a fan of it. So
yeah,
I'm really interested in finding interviews and talks about how he chose.
Those Stillsuits were cool.
Oh yeah, the recycled water.
I thought that was a cool idea. It's like it takes the water from your body.
It takes all of your sweat and recycles it and lets you drink it.
It filters it too. Yeah, it's cool. And dude, when that chick got stabbed,
I know, and it was just water. I'm like, that's not blood. Water. Oh wait, it's the suit.
Yeah, I knew immediately. Yeah. I was like, dang, that's a lot of water.
I was really excited to see her ride the worm.
Was she going to?
Yeah. She put the thumper in to attract it, and then she pulled out the grappling hooks.
Oh,
and the
that's
worm,
why she pulled out
and
the grappling
the worm
hooks.
was coming towards her, and she was waiting, and then she got stabbed.
That's why she pulled out the grappling hook.
Because you see it at the end of the movie when they're all walking together, and you see someone riding the worm. Right. That's what she was going to do, so she could get back quicker. But then they caught up to her. Bro, that worm, those worms.
It seemed like everybody knew where to go, too, though. It's like, oh, we found you.
Well, there's only one exit. There's only one exit.
It's not really,
So, and you can follow footsteps if it's immediate in the desert.
Yeah.
And they probably had people just circling the area, too.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but, like, the way that freaking worm manipulates sand
is insane. It's like the ocean.
It was like vibrations. Like, that's how it moves through the sand. It doesn't just push through. It vibrates to push through it. That's like how they were sinking.
Yeah.
It's like the vibrations, and they would sink around it.
Right.
So.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah. It was almost like it became that water with the vibration. But, yeah, it moved through, like, waves and the big old 400-meter-long butthole with teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Sucker was huge. And there's multiple, too. But that's, like, I think, isn't that what, like, the sand people worship? Are they the Farron? Is that what they're called?
Fremen.
Fremen. Yeah, Fremen.
I don't know what they worship.
Fremen. But I think it's like they like the worm, or like the god of the sand, or I can't remember. They talk about it offhand.
Bro, tell me why when House Atreides came out onto the planet, they had bagpipes.
Because why not? If one thing has survived for 10,000 years, it's bagpipes.
That's insane, though.
If there's one instrument to survive,
literally,
the one instrument we see are bagpipes. I loved that score, that music piece right there. How it just got all grandiose and hefty from the bagpipes was amazing.
I thought it was so ridiculous that they had bagpipes. It's so random because the thing is, the bagpipe is like literally the least used instrument ever. Like, I know that's not entirely true, but who likes the bagpipes?
I liked it in that instance.
They don't sound good, and it's kind of gross too.
Well, it's a cultural instrument, like most instruments, but.
So House Atreides is Scottish.
Is Atreides Scottish?
It's canon, bro. It's confirmed.
Atreides name origin. Let's find out.
It's definitely not Scottish, I promise you.
Origin of House Atreides. The House Atreides specifically claimed descent from King Agamemnon and son of Atreus. I knew Atreides sounded so familiar in Greek mythology. Descendants of Atreus are called Atreides in Greek language.
Oh.
So they're Greek.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Agamemnon. Interesting. What did Agamemnon do?
King Agamemnon. Agamemnon. Let's find out. He was the son or grandson of King Atreus. Father, daughters. Was Agamemnon a real king? King of Mycenae or Argos? What was he famous for? The leader of the Greek army in the Trojan War of Homer's Iliad. Selfish Greek warrior and ruler, famously upsetting his invincible champion Achilles, prolonging the war. So he was around Achilles, that same time for that same fable. Trojan War. Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I knew freaking Atreides sounded like Atreus.
What was her name? Zendaya's name in the movie.
It's mentioned very briefly at the end. Like, they only say it twice. I haven't pulled up. Chani? Chani?
Yeah.
Chani?
Oh. Yeah, because I'm on, like, the Dune wiki. I'm, like, looking into the history, and Paul and Chani have, like, a...
Don't tell me.
Leto Atreides II is their son or whatever. And it's
thanks
like
for, spoiling the sequels.
Yeah, whatever. You're going to forget by then.
No, I'm not. I don't work like that.
Whatever, dude. It's not that important.
So she doesn't kill him?
Of course not. What do you mean? Of course he doesn't. Remember that scene where it was just like, oh, I got stabbed with a knife or whatever, but it like wasn't me or whatever it was? You know when he was talking about that?
Dude, I know she doesn't kill him. It's like he said at the beginning. She's like, do you often dream things that come true? And he says, not exactly. He dreams like possibilities.
Yeah. So when that happened, when he got stabbed with the knife, that I was thinking that was indicative of Duncan dying. Because when he got stabbed in the
No, but it wasn't in the same spot that Duncan got stabbed.
No?
Duncan got stabbed up high in the chest.
No, he didn't, bro. He
it
got
was
stabbed
not
like
in
down here,
no, it was high in the chest because he stood up and you could see it.
Really?
Yeah, because he pulls it out. Like because he pulls it out from behind everybody else. It was high in the chest, and then he gets slashed to pieces.
True.
But
I don't know how he got up again after that.
I mean, stab in the chest with the blade still in there is possible because he's not going to bleed out because the blade's still kind of holding everything in. But once he pulled it out, he didn't. He had moments left. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, like what was his name? Jamis, the guy that he fights that Paul fights at the end.
Jamis. Yeah. What about him?
Like he was seeing him in visions.
Yeah.
He's like, I will show you the ways of the desert. But obviously he didn't. But in a way, he kind of did.
Yeah.
He showed him the ways of the desert and like their champion culture and how to survive through his death. But like in all those visions, like I will show you the way of the desert and its philosophy, blah blah blah. I will guide you. And he kind of did. But like Paul's mom, what's her name? Jessica. Yeah.
Jessica.
She's OP. With the voice. Kill him.
Oh yeah.
Jump out. Untie me. It's like, wow.
Why didn't she use her powers more?
I mean, she was gagged.
She was kind of whining. She was kind of whining the whole entire movie. She was like, "Stay away from the fear. Don't give in to the fear."
She was having that like breakdown of what she brought her son into, and all the political warfare that was going on in their home.
Yeah.
And like,
it was probably stressful a little bit.
I think it was implied. The way that I took it is that like, if Paul does not become the one, he must die.
Yeah.
Because he cannot have that power unless he is the one.
Right.
And he's a male, and like their whole thing was like it was all females.
Only.
So like
Girls
there was already that. So.
Huh.
But I definitely want to go see this again. But like 5 more times. And then I'll go see French Dispatch afterwards.
What was the name of that one chick with the dreads?
Oh, the one that was like the liaison for the desert people that came.
Yeah. Was it Liette?
I'm looking through the cast right now, and I do not see. There she is. Herald of the Change.
Herald of the Chain.
Wait. Oh no, that was the dude at the beginning. Whoops. Where is he?
Yeah.
That's not him either.
No, it's Liette.
Crew.
Liette Kynes.
I think she's just farther. Is that her name or is that the character's name?
There's a character's name. Her name is Sharon Duncan Brewster.
That name sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar. She is actually Channy's mom. So Zendaya's mom.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. Thanks for that. I mean, she's dead, so.
It's not like it's a major spoiler or anything.
It's still me.
Dude, did you know Timothee Chalamet was Paul Atreides?
Did you know that I'm gonna beat your fucking face? If you just, dude, every little thing still ticks me. So it's like, maybe just don't do that anymore.
Duncan, Idaho. It was weird seeing Jason Momoa without a beard.
Well, he had it in the beginning.
Yeah, and then he shaved
it. Was shaved. Well, you think of how much you freaking sweat living out there in the desert.
Yeah, but he still had his long hair.
Yeah, but hey, you can tie that up in like a man bun, which he did. But also, maybe he just, I don't know. There's reasons that's probably in the book that's not in the movie.
Yeah.
Because apparently the book is like super explanatory. Like they take their time to explain every little thing. And why things are this way and like all the political structures and all that, so. Path was probably having a great time because he read the book, so he's like, oh yeah, this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure he was having a good time.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, anything else you want to touch on?
So much, but...
So much? Then why are you talking about it?
Because we're like, I don't know.
We're over here talking about, like, side characters.
Yeah, exactly. Matter. Well, hey, everybody in this movie matters.
I was honestly waiting for you to say more stuff.
I know.
I'm over here.
I know. I'm trying to wrap my head around what I want to say because there's a lot.
You didn't actually like the film. No, you don't know anything about it.
Fucking fantastic. I loved it. I don't know.
Fake fan?
No, not fake fan. Just kind of still in that. Great. I'm going to mute you when you said that. No one will ever know. What timestamp was that at? Okay, good.
We need content, Hunter.
No, we don't.
Bring the content.
It was like, what was the movie that we watched that made me like, what was the last movie we saw?
The French Dispatch?
No, before that.
Venom? We saw Venom.
No, it was a movie that like, when I saw James Bond. And I was talking about how like
you saw it alone.
Last movie I saw. When I was talking about how like that ending like shook me. And it was hard to just kind of like wrap words around it.
Mm-hmm.
The movie didn't shake me. Like, I'm not like, but like, I'm still in like the state of trying to wrap my head around everything.
Right.
Because there was so much in there to unpack. Like, I could sit here and talk about how beautiful the cinematography is, but like, that's not my niche. Who was the cinematographer? I have a feeling I know.
Okay, what doesn't make sense to me is how in the freaking world do they make movies like this? Like, how do they make the locations? How do they do this stuff?
Well, my friend,
I know a lot of it's probably CGI, but like, still.
I'm about to sneeze.
It's confusion.
Well, I can tell you that this movie was shot in Jordan, Norway, Abu Dhabi, and Budapest.
Oh, Budapest.
Yes.
Really?
Filming took place July of 2019 of those locations.
Interesting.
And then, so a lot of it was probably filmed on location because Denis does not usually do. He's grandiose. He makes beautiful, practical sets.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the CGI was just probably plated onto those actual locations with like the big carriers that picked up that shot out those gigantic 4 balloons and picked up the harvesters and moved them along. So like it's most likely just shot on location for exterior stuff. Interior stuff, they might have built a few things here and there out in the desert, but that's highly unlikely. Interior stuff is probably all just on sound stages at the Warner lot.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, how they make it, there's a reason those credits are so long.
Yeah. There's hundreds and thousands of people working on movies these days.
And there's a reason that a $165 million budget is needed.
That's so absurd. The amount of money.
When you think about it, not really.
That's just an insane amount of money.
Those thousands of people paying for equipment, paying for actors, paying for crew, paying for location reservations,
it's that much.
And it's like, that's...
I understand why it's that much. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that it's a ridiculous amount of money, regardless
Not for Hollywood.
of how many. What's like the biggest film ever created? That's like the most expensive film.
Let's look it up. 10 most expensive movies ever made. As of April this year. Number 1, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides with $422 million.
You just said that this one was
165.
Oh, you said 165.
Yeah.
I thought you said 865.
No, 165.
Oh, Schneider.
865 is absurd.
Yeah.
165.
Okay. So Pirates was 400
Pirates
something?
is 422.
Holy crap. It's almost half. Half a billion.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Number 2 is an Avengers movie. Number 3 is another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Number 4 is Endgame. Number 5 is Infinity War. 6 is Titanic. 7 is Spider-Man 3. 8 is Justice League. 9 is Tangled, the Disney
the
animated movie. I guess.
What?
And then number 10 is a Harry Potter. $299 million for Tangled.
How is an animated movie that much? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. I feel like that number's wrong.
I don't know why. But it made around $600 million. So it made its money back.
Consumerism.
I want to know what Dune's at.
Capitalism. We're all just slaves to the system.
What is Dune at right now?
We just spend our money left and right. Like it's never gonna run out. At least not tonight.
Okay. As of... No, I want full box office.
Tell me, brother.
The international box office. Okay. Dune crosses 100 million on international box office. Another... Oh, yeah, so it's at 100 million right now. And 40 of that was opening weekend, which is very good. And it performed ahead of Tenet, it performed ahead of Black Widow and Shang-Chi and Godzilla vs. Kong. So it's been doing very well. It's probably going to be doing a lot better. Yeah. Considering.
Yeah, oh, wow, sick.
7 more
That's
days
dope.
in IMAX, I think. And then it's only in normal theaters for a while.
Nice. Cool.
Wes Anderson's French Dispatch made me have a good time and enjoy the movie, and enjoy the performance, the writing and the performance. Yeah. Dune made me enjoy the spectacle, the music, the cinematography, and the pacing of the edit. If I was to wrap it up into 2 nice little bows before I could come back to me next week, and I'll probably have a lot more to think about because I'll have done lots of research about what went into the movie, and all the press junkets and all that. But
don't
I
think we're
will
talking
not
about doing
bore.
next week.
No, I will not bore you or them, beautiful listeners and watchers.
You know what we're talking about next week?
I don't know. There's no movies. Wait, no.
What?
Yeah, there is. There's Eternals.
Are we gonna watch it?
I know Connor wants to go see it. It comes out the 5th, so it might not be next week. It might be the week after.
Oh, it seems like it's.
It comes out on the 5th, which is a Friday.
Ooh.
So, depending on scheduling, it might be the week after. But do you have something for next week?
I was just gonna say, what were we talking about?
Some spice.
This spice.
The spice. The spice of life, which is what this podcast is.
It's about the spice of life.
No, it is the spice of life. It's not about
it is the spice of life.
It is the spice of life.
It can be both.
Yes. But
why not?
You're welcome, Arrakis and France.
Thank you.
And America and listeners and watchers on streaming platforms around wherever you are from.
World.
Wherever you're from.
And if you're tired today, take a nap.
And if you're not, go see the French Dispatch or Dune.
But all in all, we thank you for listening in to the What Were We Talking About podcast, episode 24.
24.
It's been your boy, Mark Rajan and Hunter Lop. We appreciate it always.
Just think about it.
We love you.
Next week will be 25. That's a quarter of 100 episodes.
We'll get there
That's
one day.
half of a year. That's about half of a year if you round up.
You're close.
25 and 25 is 50. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Pretty close.
So you round up. We've been filling your ears and eyes with beautiful jargon and tangents for almost half a year.
Maybe we'll get good at this one day.
No, that's the interesting part. But thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening, reviewing. If you do that thing, do people do that still?
You should.
You should. I think it's on. I think reviews are on. You have to turn them on. I feel like I said I would look into this. I haven't. I'll look into it now. But yeah, we'll see you next week for something else that we'll figure out probably 10 minutes before the episode.
Heck yeah.
We
All right.
love you.
Ciao.
Adios.